Guess what time it is, folks? It's Friday night. You can see the vibes. It's almost Halloween. If you didn't see a ghost, I don't know what's up. But I'm not saying this guy is starting. I'm not saying he's not. I'm just super excited. You know what time it is. It's Friday night. Sam area. Let's bring in the guys. Let's talk. I want you guys in the chat to tell me what's up and let me know your thoughts, what the prediction score is going to be, what your vibes are. Is Jake Moody a bust? Should we put CMC in there to kick? Is Juice going to be our emergency quarterback? I want you guys to let me know what's going on. Let's go. Friday night. We got a game this Sunday night. And I'm bringing in Lockdown, Corey Davis, and my buddy, David McNiner. And I'm glad you're all here. So let's go. Corey
Hello.
Davis.
How y'all doing? How you doing, me?
Oh, man, doing great. All right, we're going to bring in Mr. McNiner. We got David. What's going on, David?
So, David.
Sam area.
If you guys didn't see, get the vibes. We're telling you, it's happening.
Oh, Lord.
So, I want to shout everybody in the chat because we want to make this a fun show. I want the chat to keep popping. I want you to tell people, hey, keep coming and telling me because we're going to get into this great conversation. And it's about our San Francisco 49ers. And what's most important? The longevity and the health of this team, right? So I was younger at one point in my life. I was in middle school. I was walking across the street and boom, I got hit with a truck. A truck, construction truck, the extended mirrors busted out the back of my skull. And what happened? Got sent flying in the air. Next thing you know, the ambulance comes and I'm sent to the county hospital, right? You take a piece of paper. You take two pieces of paper and you put them together. If my head would have went in any further, I would have needed brain surgery. So I am very, very lucky to be standing here. And then, honestly, to be able to tell you, not only within a couple months, a couple years, my head was strong enough. I was okay to play football. So I played freshman football after that. And I'm telling you, every once in a while, I get headaches. You guys might see me on stream sometimes, and I apologize, but sometimes I get migraines. And that's what we're talking about tonight. This is going to be that show where I want you guys to let me know how you feel. Should Brock start? Should it's only one game, right? We go into a bye. Is it okay to take the L on this? Are we taking an L? Are we taking an L? Are we so we don't have any confidence in this guy, Sam Darnold, right? He's totally garbage, right? He's dead to the NFL. No. You cannot tell me that we don't have any confidence in this. So before we get into all that, and I want to build this up, right? Let's shout out the chat, guys. Corey, do you see the chat? Can you read out the chat, or do you want me to read it out?
I can't see good.
All right, David, can you read the chat because we can go back and forth? But I'll start it out.
I got one question.
Go for it, Corey.
Is that on my screen that's over my face, or is that your? You see there's something on my face?
No, there's nothing on your face. Not on my screen. Nothing on your face.
You look clean to me.
All right.
There's something there I can see.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. Probably on my camera or something.
Yeah, I just see good looking Corey. That's all I see is normal Mr. Lockdown.
Yeah,
Davis.
I don't see any sort of restrictions going on over here, Corey. You look normal.
Where I'm pointing, I see like a dot right here.
All right, so for right now, we're going to call out the chat. John LaJoy, 49ers, a great member of the channel, a great friend. Check him out, too, on YouTube. He does a lot of great stuff. John, please stick with us. Let us know your thoughts. Ask some questions. Let's be interactive. We got Daniel Berry Sports Highlights. Yo, if you guys don't know about him, he has a channel as well. Please check out his channel and subscribe. We got Mr. Soli 684 from Hawaii. Aloha, everyone. Thank you for coming. Please hit the like button, and thank you for coming. He is a faithful. He's around every channel. I mean, really, truly great. We got Carcast coming in, and he's got a 49ers Talk YouTube channel as well. So please check him out as well. Tony, I think we got just a bunch of content creators in here tonight. So everybody, please check each other out. We got Tony Culp coming in, and there's been some construction. There's been some modifications to her channel, but they are still the ladies. They're the 49ers, and they talk 49er football every Saturday night at 5 o'clock. So please tune in. We got Bebop coming in. Bebop is one of the best. He's a good friend of the channel, good friend of mine. And if you guys ever want to know a good band to listen to, reach out to Bebop. He's got music down. So let's come in to Laura Cat, great friend of the channel. She's everywhere as well. Steve-O, dude, I appreciate you coming. We got Damian Lee in the building, and we got Boss Quest, my buddy. You guys all know Josue Alvarez, Matt. Thank you guys for coming. So if you have any Green Bay Packer questions, please throw them in the chat tonight because we have an expert. So I've talked long enough. David, what's the news of the 49ers? What's your vibes? What have you heard around the horn?
Well, so Brock Purdy is in concussion protocol. It listed as full practice for today. But he would be the first player to go on concussion protocol after a Monday night game and actually make the game on the next week. Normally you go into concussion protocol Monday, the day after the game, and here he is. He's a day late.
Since Tua's concussion weirdness that happened on the field that was not diagnosed correctly on the field, and then who did he play the following week, David?
Did he play us?
He played us, the San Francisco 49ers. So that doesn't help you when we are one of the most physical teams out there, and then you're coming off a concussion, and it just doesn't work out. Corey Davis, how are you doing tonight? What's your thoughts? I know there's been some bickering, there's been some talk back and forth about who should play, who shouldn't play. It sounds like it might be going towards Brock Purdy if he is clearing all the protocols. And we talked a little bit on this already. Brock Purdy's had maybe 2 practices so far, walkthroughs, and I think today he had it was a full go through for him or whatnot. Again, are you more confident with Brock Purdy going out there, or would you be okay with seeing Sam Darnold go out there?
I'm kind of up between. Because I wonder if Brock Purdy is ready to be out there. Sometimes I'm thinking, are we rushing him back? Is he cleared? I don't want him get going out there and get hurt worse. But I think I feel more comfortable with him out there than Sam Darnold. But it's just, I'm still a little nervous. I'm praying that he does get out, that he's okay, really okay, and he's not fooling nobody, just to get out there.
Well, let me go ahead and add 2 more people to our show, and we're going to keep this all lively and fun and, bring them all in. And again, chat, please jump in here. Let us know your thoughts. From Seattle, close to Seattle, we're going to have 2 people coming in from the Green State, right? They are the Weather Green State, if I'm correct, and they can correct me when they come in. We have No Border Sports. And we have this guy who I think, but it is Halloween. So if you didn't see the intro and I didn't scare you enough, boom, right?
No border sports. Oh, that's
We got
scary.
Jason. We got the Jason. So how's
Good
everybody doing
evening.
tonight?
It is spooky season. How's it going, gentlemen?
Hello.
Oh, pretty good.
I
Or
figured I'd make it a
maybe
little
it's going to be Sam
scary.
Gut.
Well, thank you everyone for coming. Steve-O pushed
Hello,
a
no
great
border
point
sports.
out. Steve-O says line went down 2 points, means Sam started. Oh boy, I'm not sure, but I know betting has a lot to do with sports, and sometimes it can dictate the way games go or are officiated. So, Ryan, let me know your thoughts, man. So tonight, let's have a friendly debate. I think David's on my side. We can pick sides, or we can just all have at it. But I am convinced that Sam Darnold should
What
start.
up, Corey Davis?
This is no border sports.
So I'm convinced that Sam Darnold should start, and then we should, wait for Brock Purdy to heal up. If Brock's healthy, okay, I'm not going to complain if he goes out there and balls out. But I am somebody who has had a concussion before, who's had multiple, who does suffer from migraines. And I'm just thinking of the longevity. I know football is a great game, and we don't want to take anything away from it. We don't want to be playing flag football, but we are looking for the longevity of the team. And if we're looking at somebody, maybe put Steve Young up there. Look at how many concussions he had and what finally caused him to retire. A concussion, right? And that just derailed the whole season.
That's
What's
what
your
I'm
thoughts? What's your thoughts, Ryan? And then we're gonna go to Jason because David and Corey briefly talked on it. What's your thoughts on the situation? And then we'll move on to Jason.
Well, we'll see what we got. I'm not. I don't know how somebody asked Kyle, what's your confidence or trust in Sam Darnold? And he pretty much said, as much as I can of knowing somebody for the last couple months. That's what he said. So that's not a very big, vote of confidence there from the head coach to me. You know what I mean? Kyle might not have been thinking of how bad that sounds when he said it, but it doesn't scream, I've got confidence. Let's just say that. So at best, I think he's mid, in the system. And, everything else is less.
So my buddy Boss
you think
Quest.
he'd be like optimistic about, what's that?
I was going to stop you in mid-sentence for a second, and maybe you could highlight this.
What's that?
I think having Sam Darnold start is a good way to show the league if this is truly the system or not. So many people say Mac Jones or some other quarterback would excel in San Francisco as much as Purdy. So if you pull Purdy from this equation and you put Sam Darnold, do you think this is a good, evaluator? Is this a good test for Kyle Shanahan? Is this more of a Kyle Shanahan game or is this more of a Sam Darnold game? Who do you think has the most to benefit?
Do I think what?
Who has the most to benefit from this game?
Who
Sam
has
Darnold coming out and balling out or Kyle Shanahan saying, it doesn't matter who my quarterback is. I win.
I don't know.
It's got to be
I was
Darnold.
kinda
He's
thinking
on a
of another
one-year
point,
contract, right?
Okay, well, we'll fire back to you and come back. I'm sorry to stop you in your sentence. I thought this would be something that you could elaborate on. Jason, what's your thoughts on the same question? Who has most to benefit out of this win? Kyle Shanahan's system or Sam Darnold scaring away the ghost?
I think it would have to be Darnold, considering that he's on the one-year contract. Because if he excels, he's going to get that contract. From somebody else, unless Purdy just doesn't add up. So I think it definitely has to be Darnold for who ends up being better between the two. As far as being confident, I'm sorry, like I said on my show earlier, I have absolutely no confidence in Sam Darnold. We've seen how he plays in 66 or so games, however it was. He's terrible. He is a terrible quarterback. That's all I got on Sam Darnold.
He's definitely had a lot of fumbles and interceptions over his career. It's very alarming. You could say, "Oh, he's been on bad teams," but that's only an excuse you can use for so long. David McNiner, what's your thoughts? Would you play him or would you sit him? Yeah, we got a bye week coming up. We got another team coming off a bye that we're going to be playing. What's your thoughts overall? What's your feeling on the 49ers and this crisis we're coming upon, huh?
Even if he's ready for the game, I would set him. Because, you probably had a way worse situation than me. But I have sustained multiple concussions in a short period of time, and it took me years to actually get over it. So at this point, why risk it? Give him some time to heal. Let's see what Sam Area can do. And if he's healthy, dress him. Let him sit there as the third quarterback, the inactive guy. Give
We don't
Brandon
want to
Duck
see
Allen a
Brock
chance
Purdy
at
looking
QB
like
too.
Tua with his hands all messed up.
Yeah.
This is true.
I mean, as much as we like Brock Purdy, right? He's a very great quarterback. We all can say, hey, he won us. He stole our hearts, right? Because he went on and won all those games, and we were all doing great, right? Everybody's like, go Purdy. The number one jersey for the 49ers is what, guys? And for quarterbacks, what's the most popular number ever selected in 49ers history?
13.
Boom. I think you are correct, Corey. I think somebody really smart might have told you that. 13 over the history of the 49ers has been selected the most times. So if you're a 49er quarterback, there's probably a 50% chance you're wearing number 13, okay? There's only so many numbers retired, and, hey, Steve Young's the only one who's ever wore number 8 for the 49ers, ever. 16's been worn a couple of times, but it'll never be worn again. But 13 seems to be that friendly number for the 49er faithful. And, we all want to see him out there if he's healthy. But if this just means, hey, take a break. I mean, we're not trying to start Debo with a broken shoulder. This is somebody's brain. We're not trying to start Trent Williams with a sore ankle or, a sprained ankle. We're not trying to bring in, Debo is Debo. CMC is CMC. When he says he has an oblique, I don't think he really wanted people to know about it, but it does seems to have slowed him down last week. But he still produced. He still is out there, and he still is probably one of the best 49ers on the football field. So, again, if we got to
have a question.
Go for it, Corey.
Because I was listening to this radio station, and they said, I can't remember. I only thought he had 2 fumbles. One in the Dallas and one in the Vikings. And they say he had 3.
Well, he had one against Pittsburgh, right?
He did?
He had like 2 against Pittsburgh, and he recovered one, I believe. One was like that back fumble, butt fumble he kind of like laid on. And I think that one earlier in the game, if I'm correct, he lost. Or he lost one later in the game. And CMC's fumbled a couple of times this season too.
Okay, I remember the butt one that he recovered, but I can't remember, and I know he lost one in the Dallas in the goal line and one in Vikings, but I don't remember any other ones. Oh, we lost somebody.
Ryan has left the building.
He'll be back. Ryan will be back either for this show or the
Sea Chicken's Wi-Fi.
Hey now, don't be making fun of my Wi-Fi.
So
And
if you
it's not
guys,
sea chickens, it's Rainy City bitch pigeons.
so
Uh,
if you guys didn't know, Jason, he has a YouTube channel too. Jason can tell you his name because I don't want to butcher it. There's a lot. I'll let Jason tell you his name, but he went on and he had a great show just a few minutes ago, and they ran through a lot of great points and stuff like that. But I want to hear Jason's thoughts here on this show. But Jason, tell us your channel's name because I got a couple people here who probably haven't heard you before, and I want to know your thoughts, your experience with concussions.
All right, so my channel is called Niner Faithful Radio. Pretty much Google it and you will find us everywhere. I've had 7 concussions in my life. The shit sucks. So like last year, seeing Tua on the field when he started doing the hands thing and freezing up, that hit me personally. And I know that Brock obviously has a concussion. So I'm all for sitting him this week. And I get that maybe that's the best long term, and I'm okay with that.
yeah.
The issue I have is that again, like I stated earlier, I have no trust in Sam Darnold. Other than a long ball and having arm talent like they were talking about during training camp, we've seen what he can do. He's a terrible quarterback. Yeah, zero confidence in him.
Well, let's stop real quick, and I'm going to have you answer this question for us because the chat is popping.
He doesn't have
and
much instinct.
Except terrible.
Scott Hill came in, and he's a good friend, and he's everywhere in the faithful as well. And he brings on this question. I'll have you answer it, Jason. I'll give Brian a chance as well. Do you think Steve Wilks will bounce back and utilize his star players?
I don't think Wilks deserves so much of the blame that he's getting. We are still number 3 in the league when it comes to points allowed. Not enough people are talking about how inept the offense has been at times. If we're only scoring, if he's only giving up 19, 20 points a game, why are we losing games? I think I said this on my show that I didn't have too much of an issue with the zero blitz to end the half. My issue was the fact that had Charvarius Ward understand the situation and just tackled Addison, he's 20-ish yards down the field. They're not going to be able to set up and get a spiked ball or get a field goal off in time. So I know the play call wasn't the greatest, but I don't think he deserves as much blame as he's getting. Like Kyle showing up to the defensive meetings and all that. I don't think that's all necessary. And one of the big issues I'm noticing with Wilks is that Wilks builds his defenses back to front. Our defense is built front to back. So he is learning to coach or to play call from a position that he's never been in before. So it's still a learning curve for him. But again, I don't think, again, simply put, he's taking too much blame for everything right now. I think more of it needs to be put on the offense.
I agree. Ryan, what's your thoughts? Same question from Scott Hill, because the chat is definitely popping. They're asking questions. So do you think Steve Wilks will bounce back and utilize his star players?
Well, I think he's been kind of utilizing them already. He's got an issue where he's coming into a new system when all the other successors came from the same system and knew the ins and outs of it. They all breathe the same air. You know what I mean? He's coming in, he's having to change himself instead of what he's used to as far as changing a team to his likings, right? So I think there's a little bit of a learning curve here. I think he's tried some things, and I think he's figured out that those things didn't work. So process of elimination, we should have this whipped into shape here real quick. You know what I mean? Like, there's only a couple more bad games we can have until he got it down. I think he was the guy to hire. I think he was the best to hire out of all of them. Still, even right now, he could prove me wrong, But I think this is just like a learning curve. I think he was doing great in the first 5 games. And what happened? Somebody figured something out. And now people are exploiting it. So all he has to do is essentially correct it. And that gives them something else they need to work on at that point. So they're kind of even at that point once he figures out how he's going to change his scheme to make it so he's not getting exposed in certain areas, because we were getting exposed. There was matchup issues. Adelson was covered by Greenlaw. Like, Greenlaw is not Fred Warner. Greenlaw is going to come up and thump you. He shouldn't be on no fast little Corvette. You know what I'm saying? He's there to take on tanks. So I think there's some things, there's some bumps, and we'll get through it.
Awesome. I love it. I really do. So shout out real quick. If you guys don't know about Platform 246, he agrees with that gentleman. Church, what's happening, people? Please go check out Platform 246. It's spelled just like that. He's got a great channel. Please check him out. And then, hey, blew my socks off. Really did. I tell you what, it's Friday night show. I am so glad you're here. Please stick around. Ask us some questions. We're not gonna we're not that channel. We're not gonna scare you away. Bring on it. Bengals fan in the chat. Meow, meow, right? Meow, right? With
I can put the mask back on to scare him.
Well, Bengals fan in the chat, get ready for Burrow to chase. Oh, I love it. Hey, please like, subscribe, come back and see us next Friday. We all do a lot of things together. And we appreciate getting other fans in the chat. Damian Lee, man.
And we don't always just talk about Niners. Sometimes we talk about the rest of the NFL, aliens. Sometimes there's naughty time, but that's in the second episode. Usually we talk about some naughty time stuff here and there. Sometimes we go, it's a train wreck, we derail, we do a whole bunch of stuff. So grab your popcorn, buckle up.
Yep.
Hey, Ryan, here you go.
I love it. I heard you talking earlier too. Love it. So
Brian, you got some Silver City Brewery in the house.
So if you guys got a beverage, cool to drink, or if you want a cup of coffee, whatever wets your whistle. But Damian Lee is like a kindred spirit to mine. Like, he truly is. We have this thing going back and forth. There's something in the force, and he can feel it. I can feel it. I'm a big Steve Young fan. He says Steve Young has faith in Sam. So will I. Give him a chance. Guys, give Sam a chance.
No.
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 Look, Sam's going to get his chance. After Sam proves me wrong, I'll give him a chance. Okay? You see what I'm saying? Like, he's already had chances when he wasn't on our team and I wasn't impressed. Okay, there's a reason why he's on our team for as cheap as it is. Okay? So just buckle up.
Baker Mayfield showed up and took his position in like 3 days. On an offense he had no idea how to run.
Yes.
But they went back to him. Didn't they?
Because Baker got hurt.
Best availability, right?
How often do you go back to an ex-girlfriend? There's a reason why they're an ex.
When you're horny.
Yeah.
Sam was 4-2 with the Panthers last season. He was 4-2. I'm just saying,
So?
not just saying. I'm saying.
And
now I think that talking was over my face. Now it's by David, but it's above his. So dot
it might be something on your camera, Corey.
But it's not on mine now. It's not on with me now.
Hold on. If it was on his camera, we'd see it. You sure you ain't got a critter on your screen there, Corey?
No, it's now with David. It's right above his SF and above his left shoulder.
Well, we will have to do some detective work on that. But we do have a question from Orange. Orange says, okay, I will ask you a question. I heard you had a quarterback has a concussion. Is that true? He is in concussion protocol. That's why we were talking about, is Sam Darnold going to start? So thank you for coming. Yes,
how long have you had that jersey to bring it out?
We won't answer that tonight, but
Is that Sam Donald jersey? See, that might be somebody
Hey.
else. He just because he never shows
I know
the
the
back.
story
It is
on the
not a
jersey,
Sam
guys. It's
Darnold
just-
jersey. It is not.
He ever showed us the back.
a number 14 jersey.
It's just
okay?
a numbered jersy.
And the vibes are real. So keep that
He's
energy,
milking
folks.
this as much as he can.
Yeah.
Hey, Sam
Can you
Area.
explain? It's actually more valuable not being a Sam Darnold jersey. Am I wrong?
I'll drink to that.
All right, so we got another question from Orange or a statement from Orange, which is not a problem at all. We appreciate you. Also, disrespectfully, Hendricks is a better edge than Bosa. That's my opinion. All right.
This season, yes. I'll agree with him this
Who?
season. Troy Henderson.
For right now, yeah.
Who?
Right now, yeah.
No,
but
never heard of
overall,
him.
Never heard of him?
Either.
Big shout out to Raphael. If you guys don't know, we're gonna get Raphael
Hey,
in soon.
Raphael.
Big group, big fan and real friend of the whole show. We've had him on in the past, and he's done rap, and we had a rap battle. So if anybody's interested in coming in and having a rap battle, I will let anybody come in. I got my man Raphael right here. He will put bars down, and I'm telling you, he's got it. So we got Damien here. And Damien says not all teams are the same. Bad rebuttal. Okay. And Scott, thank you for sticking around. We appreciate you. Is Montez Sweat a real trade candidate for us? David Miner.
Yes.
Why would you bring him in?
Depth. To have that guy
Depth.
on the other side of Bosa that you can for sure count on. I mean, we do have Randy Gregory, and in limited snaps, he's actually looked pretty good.
Yeah.
But you know what? I can't even say that. He's actually looked Sam good. So, all that being said, we got Drake Jackson, who's, rookie deal contract. He's still productive. He still gets pressures. He bats balls. People keep talking about his bend, but I haven't seen his top half go all the way around the tackle, the offensive tackle, and get a sack yet. So,
What's he done
And
besides
then-
week one? Drake Jackson has.
Yeah, he did. He did get 3 sacks week 1, yes.
And then what?
But
He's done absolutely nothing.
we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. He's on the field. He does, play football. But then we got
Well, most of his sacks
Cleveland
week 1 were
Farrell.
just
I
being
mean, it'd be like,
smart.
who do you let go to bring in Sweat is what I'm more concerned about. Because right now we have 5 interior defensive linemen, which Kalia Davis hasn't been active. We've had Armstead, Hargrave, Givens, and Kinlaw. So then if you trade for a guy, someone's got to go, right?
Farrell.
That's what I would think too. But
Ryan,
it's
what's-
also a rental. It's a rental though. He's a rental car, so you want to drive him like you stole him.
That's a good point, David. Let's start down here to Ryan. Ryan, same question from Mr. Scott Hill, Uncle Scott. If you guys don't know, he's everywhere. Big supporter of Wayne Breezy. Is Montez Sweat a real trade candidate for us?
I don't think so. I think the 49ers already addressed it. You know what I mean? I think Randy Gregory was the guy. Not to say that he was their epitome, but I think they already reached out, made that, and they're like, well, I think we'll deal with that. To me, I don't know. It depends on the deal you get. What's left on his contract?
This season.
Last season.
This
And the rental.
With
Is
the
it
money
costing
we
the cap,
have,
or
we
is it all-
could potentially sign him to an extension, but this guy's like a 20 million a year ish. And how many of those guys do we have already? And we have Ayuk coming up, you know.
Yes, see, if they want to overpay with draft capital, I could see them getting him for nothing and then as a 1-year rental. But I don't know if they do that. But
What do you think, Jason? What do you
I think they've already addressed it.
As far as Sweat goes,
Yeah, what do you think? Do you think we get Sweat? Do you think they're gonna, and you can expand too. Do you think we go for somebody else?
I like the idea of Sweat. I think he's more feasible than if we were to go after, like, say, Chase Young.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Facts.
he is an option. Like Ryan had said, with the money that we have, we can do it. But it's also just this is all in for this 1 year, and that's it. Because I don't think we could afford him long term. We'd have to go back to basically, whether it be Drake Jackson, maybe Randy Gregory going forward. But for just a rental for the second half of the season to make a Super Bowl run, I'm completely for it. I don't think, as much as everybody wants Patrick Surtain, I don't think that's an option. That's going to cost us way too much draft capital. You're basically looking at you're going to have to give up probably at least a second for someone like him, if not more. Maybe Daniel Hunter might have been an option before the Vikings game that we just lost, but with them still in the mix with the NFC, I don't think he's going to be an option anymore. Brian Burns is still out there. I'm not sure who else is out there, at least defensively, who we could go after. I've heard a lot of people think that we still need a burner at wide receiver, someone like maybe Jerry Jeudy from the Broncos. But again, I think that's a lot of draft capital to go after someone like him. I saw one that I actually
I don't
liked
know if
earlier.
I want a Jerry Jeudy on my team.
Not necessarily, no, but I'm saying like that's an option player-wise for someone who's
Like
a
his
burner.
personality.
Yeah, I don't think it matches. If we want a burner, we can always try the Danny Gray experiment again. One option I did like, I don't know how much truth is behind it, is I like the idea of us trading for Derrick Henry. I think that would be an amazing 1-2 punch between him and CMC. He's 29. He's got some miles on him. But at the same time, if you're just going in for 1 year, do it.
Let's do it. Let's go. Can we get the
Imagine
the
a dual
bell?
backfield with
Can we
them.
get the bell ringing?
Yeah.
Ding, 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 ding.
I like the thought
You want
of
the bell,
actually
not the
getting
air- not the
Jonathan
DJ
Taylor.
horn?
Bring in King Henry. I'm telling you, he will bring us to the Super Bowl, and we will hoist the Lombardi. CMC and King Henry. We don't even need to throw one pass the rest of the year. I'm telling you.
But Jake Moody,
But yeah, I like the thought of Jonathan
don't think
Taylor. He's a 4.3 runner.
he's too expensive.
Definitely
He's way too expensive.
reliable. Change of pace back. Well, no, he's just signed for the rest of the year for like, I think he would be on the hook for 6-7 million.
Yeah, but Indy wants a king's ransom for him.
And I was listening to this radio station. It was talking about, they was talking about Surtain. Bring him, make him number one. Make
Travarius.
number two.
Yeah.
Then make
Lenore.
Make him slot.
Get rid of Ambry because he's trash.
Yeah.
Oh, we got that up here.
Then we have Womack and Luter Jr. coming back at some point.
Yep. I just think
Oh,
the price
sorry.
tag on
My
Surtain is
headphones
just
went
going
up.
to be high as hell.
Yeah. Like,
Well,
how to
I
put
wanted,
this?
I wanted to really.
What do you? The only money you can really take off of it is this year's contract, right? Unless you were to get them to totally like renegotiate the contract, I guess. But he's on a rookie contract. Can they? I guess they could do that and extend it. But you'd have to find some way for them to eat a shit ton of money to not just fuck the team over and then pass over years of, like first round comp. A couple years of first round comp for them to eat all that. I don't. It's what
too
I think
much
we
for
need
that.
more than a DN, but
Well, I wanted to
I
call
think
out. I wanted to call out real quick, Jess. Thank you so much for coming through. She's one of the ladies of the Empire, and really appreciate you coming through. Steve-O brought up a good point. He said Taylor signed an extension 3 years, so I don't think Taylor's on the trading block anymore. And then I love Dante Johnson. Just bring Dante back. Come on, guys. We know it's going to happen sometime in the year. Let's not wait till the end of the season. The dude is destined to get a ring with us. He will wear any number. He doesn't care. He's our Mr. 49er. Can anybody argue with Dante?
Dante Johnson, the
over
I'd
Ram
take Dante.
killer.
That's what I was about to say,
Yeah.
Jason. I'll take Dante over Ambry.
every day.
Just saying. Tell you what, anybody but Josh Norman.
Peanut
Okay.
punch.
By the way, he's a Bill. I didn't realize. I saw him playing special teams for the Bills last night. I was like, holy hell, he's still out there?
Really?
Bro,
Hmm.
he,
I didn't know that.
he must got a lot of baby mama. He's out there. I still gotta make these checks, bro. Like,
I was like,
You
what?
should
Is that
invest.
D? Josh Norman?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Bebop knows what's up.
gotta get me
That's
these
crazy,
training camps.
guys. So,
Wow.
Corey, what's your thoughts? Bring in King Henry, or would you take King Henry or Brian Burns? You can only have one.
I guess I'd take King Henry because I don't know who Brian Burns is.
He's from the Panthers. He's a defensive player.
But
He's
all
like a,
this talent in the backfield, if we're not moving people up front,
that's a
the
good
Browns
point,
were
Ryan.
sitting in our
Hold
backfield.
on. Derrick Henry can just run over people. We don't even need a block, right?
He can run over one person from the defensive line. It's hard for him to run over two defensive linemen trying to tackle him at the same time. That's hard for even a defensive lineman or an offensive lineman who are built to go against each other. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a little much. I'm just
But
saying,
even if we had Derrick Henry, we didn't get on the field with Kyle play.
well, like
We got these other
dual
running
backfield,
backs that
Corey.
don't do it. Huh?
Okay, sorry, Ryan.
Dual backfield.
Sorry, Ryan.
Huh?
Ryan, I'm so sorry. We got a breaking news report. Ambry just unsubscribed to No Border Sports. It happens. Sometimes you lose a subscriber, I mean, it does happen. But hey, maybe
Bro.
Brian Burns or King Henry will subscribe. You never know. Looks like
Hey.
Scott.
That's Ambry's fault. That's Ambry's fault. If he was doing better out there on his grind, I wouldn't be saying shit like that. Okay. Hey, did you see that Steve Smith Sr.? They asked him, "Are you going to walk back those Jerry Jeudy comments?" He's like, "Hell no. That's already been written. That is not going to. I am never coming back to that
Smith is the
again.
man.
That is." I know. I love Steve Smith.
So
That's
Scott Mill,
like-
he's picking Brian Burns. And hey, sorry, Ryan. Sometimes when it's pouring, it's really pouring, right? But Damien comes in, 8 baby mamas just subscribe to No Border Sports. John wants Derrick Henry, so let's bring in King Henry. Jason, if you had a choice, would you bring in King Henry or are you bringing in Brian Burns? I mean, I don't
King
think
Henry.
Yeah.
I take Henry.
I don't think the defense is that bad. I think we just need
No,
some
I
adjustment.
think it's The problem is on the offensive side. Why are if we're holding people to 19 points a game, why the hell are we losing?
There is an issue with that defensive line, though. So there's something going on
Oh,
in the
yeah.
defensive line. We should
Well,
be
you heard
murdering
Bosa say it.
people. It's
Bosa did say it. He said, I'm not used to playing like that.
It's such a vanilla front.
Did I
There's
hear it
no
right?
sorts of like twist or anything like that. I forget who I was watching. They were talking about how before they would have Dre and Fred up on the line, and then they would back
Yes.
out at the last second. We're not doing that anymore. There's no twist between the defensive linemen anymore. It's just basically shooting up front, and that goes back to me talking about how Wilkes doesn't know how to use the front seven as good as he knows how to use the guys in the backfield. So I'm not sure. I'd have to go back and watch actual tape on that, see how that works. But I mean, it makes sense if you're not used to having so many studs up front and how to use them correctly, and so you're so used to your coverage being able to just cover everybody. I get it, but at this point in the season,
Well,
watch tape,
you
learn how to use these guys.
You got a connection to Chris Kosurik, right? You got a straight line to him at 24/7. Hey, Chris, I'm thinking
Thank you,
about calling this on the back end. What do you think would go on the front end right now? Thanks, Coach.
Yep.
And then that's what he should be doing. If that's the problem you got, that's what you need to be doing.
It's a simple solution.
Yeah. And I'm sure Chris Kosurik has told him, and he's like, no, I got this. We'll figure this out. We got great guys up front, so we're just going to ask them to win one-on-one. And no, what we want to do is really be just unfair. This is like we want to be the 250-pound dude just ripped with muscles kicking the 5'6" dude in the nuts. You know what I mean? Like, we don't have to even really fight you. We just want to just make sure we get through to the end. You know what I mean? Like,
I want to be Andre the Giant versus the Midget. Let's just get
yeah. I don't want fair. I don't want this one-on-one shit. Nope. I want you thinking something's going to happen and then something else happens. And you know who we got doing this? Great athletes. So it's more chances that somebody's getting home when we do these stunts. We used to line 3 people up on one side, 1 on the other side, and then they would do a stunt between there, and you'd have it end up, it would be 2 and 2 on each side of the center, and the center and the guards all have to figure out 2 or different things in the middle of the play on what they're having to do. They've got, there's responsibility switch like twice. That's what we want. We want confusion on the offensive line when we're rushing the passer. We're not getting that.
So Damian Lee brings up, he said, Palpatine. If you don't know about Star Wars, then I don't know. You need to become one with the Force. But Palpatine, everybody is not as connected to the Force as you. I have a Sprint phone.
So pretty much what I've been seeing, and Jason made me think about it. Where's all these stunts that we were doing last year? Where's the edge that comes in for the defensive tackle on the pass rushing down? Where's all the stuff we've been using the last 2 seasons that's been working?
Because we know that Drake gets great production off of the inside on third downs, right? He hasn't been there a lot since week 1. You got Nick Bosa even gets great production inside on third downs or passing downs. I'm just going to call it third down because that's when people are normally passing, right? There's no reason why we need to be vanilla like this when we can get things done. We need to be doing those little things. Ooh.
Yeah,
I'm
Bebop,
sure.
Well,
guys freaking
dimes. Bebop comes in and he says, y'all see Bosa's new model from Kim's K's men underwear brand. LOL. And then Laura Cat, so super funny. Laura Cat coming in with the I love it, Bebop. Corey, What's your thoughts?
She
Would
says,
you
I love it too, implying that Bebop loves it just as much as she does. I don't know if you
no,
caught that.
love you, Bebop. Corey, what's your thoughts? The King Henry, the CMC edition. Would you do that, or I know I did ask you about Brian Burns, and you said you didn't know, but would you expand a little bit with the King Henry thoughts? Do you think if we had King Henry and CMC, how often would we pass the ball?
We should have to do that much passing if we got both of them, and then we can use them both on the field at the same time. Dual running backs, get both of them out there. Like I said, I don't know if Cal will do that. Cal seemed to be stuck on one person, because we could do running backs without. We had Mason out there and do it with CMC. Because he gets 5 yards of carry, 5-6 yards of carry. But Cal can't see that. He's the offensive guru, but he can't see he can't see that he needs to use all his weapons. He needs to try different things out there. People are looking at CMC now. They're gunning for CMC. So if you put a dual running back out there, they can't do that. They can't do it. But Cal don't see that. Cal is stuck on CMC. He only brought Elijah in one play, and that was it.
Well,
If that's so
So,
much of your offense, then you
this
want to keep
inspired a
it
thought.
healthy.
This inspired a thought in my head, though. How much we've been passing the ball? We we normally run 35, 40 times a game. Now we're, it's just a little over 50% passing the ball, which is not like what we normally do.
Yep.
But at this point, we had James Richard Garoppolo, and teams would tee off on the run. They'd stack 8 in the box. They didn't care. And then what's going on now is we're passing the ball first, and then we're kind of running the ball second. So is Kyle doing this just to make sure the defense plays us honest?
The hell with honest. Get points and yards.
Yeah. Let's
But at
go.
a certain point, you have to see, like, we want to be the bully, right? But it's not happening on the offensive side. It's not happening on the offensive side. When we lose certain players, we lose Trent Williams, we lose Debo, we lose a couple other players. We're not bullies. We had to give Debo a handoff, not Debo, George Kittle a handoff to secure a first down. If that's not trickery, I mean, like, we're not punching you in the face anymore. We're trying to trick you. We're not running it down your throat. CMC didn't have the burst that he had in the rest of the games this year. He is hurt. He's a little slower than he is. Still one of the best players we have on the field right now. But if we was to bring in somebody like Derrick Henry, he doesn't have to know how to block. That dude's going to run right up the gut. He doesn't need anybody to block for him. Nobody can really truly take him down. The only thing he can stop is if you grab his hair from behind. I mean, guys, if we got Derrick Henry, I don't think we really need to worry about anybody on our defense at that point. We can simply matriculate down the field, eat up time of possession. And what does that mean? You have the ball for 14, 15 minutes out of a quarter. The other team doesn't have the time. They don't have time to score. Right now, I know we went back and forth on this a little bit, me and Ryan have, because of the type of offense that we have. We want to be able to score really fast. We want to be able to have that quarterback that can throw 16-second touchdown, right? Kirk Cousins. But we don't have him. We do have a team that can run down the field throughout the game and continue to pick up first downs. I mean, Mitchell, when he's healthy, he falls forward for a first down. But for whatever reason right now, he's not playing right. and we don't seem to have confidence in Jordan Mason or TDP. So I do see if we was
Who's
You
saying
don't?
we don't have confidence? Kyle doesn't have confidence by the way he's not playing them.
Okay,
I think
fair,
we all have confidence with him.
Yeah, fair statement. Fans would like to see him out there on the field, but for whatever reason, they're just not putting him on the field. It's a management decision. Maybe a couple people in the offense and the coaches aren't saying, "Yeah, put him on the field today, coach." Maybe he's drawing the short stick on the short straw. But I think if we was to upgrade, some people have said wide receiver. If you guys want to expand and say who you think would be best, trade deadline's coming. Halloween's getting scary. It's getting really close. I say get Derrick Henry. I say go all
Stop
in.
talking about my wedding anniversary like that.
Hey, shout out to you. And just in case you didn't know, me and Tony, I think I tried to tell you, but me and Tony proposed to Tony on Halloween. That's super cool. Really small.
I'll be back.
All right, buddy. And that's Ryan, No Border Sports, No Crypto, the realest of us all. If you didn't know, he's the one who keeps us together. He's the funny one, and he'll be back here real shortly. David, you had something, and I'm sorry, I'm just excited, but go for it, David.
When does Danny Gray come back?
When we get a deep threat?
Everyone's saying, let's trade for a speed guy. Let's trade for we need to trade for this guy. Well, when does our guy come back?
Well, at the same time, when has Danny Gray actually done anything? He caught one pass in preseason.
And that's true. I mean, last year he got the Kyle Shanahan red shirt, and this season we're supposed to see something out of him. Then they also signed Ray too, though, and Ray's not necessarily a burner, but Danny Gray is. So. And with our new starting QB this upcoming weekend, we're going to see some long balls.
Is he starting? I don't think he's going to start.
I don't think he is.
Sam Area.
Sam Francisco. Sorry.
I want him to start. I want him to start, but I don't think he's going to start because Purdy keeps on practicing. And they say he can clear protocol, and you know how easy it is. What happened to Kaepernick and Alex Smith? Alex Smith got concussed. Kaepernick never let the job go, right? Never. What happened to Jimmy Garoppolo and CJ Beathard? Never let the job go, right? So
then got hurt.
Yeah, but he got that contract too, so that kind of saved his butt. Jason, if you can sign anybody, right? And then we're gonna go to Corey. And then I want David to answer this too. I've thrown it out there. You guys all know I'm swinging for the fences. I'm saying bring in King Henry, right? So Jason, who would you bring in?
If I'm not going for King Henry,
money's not an option either.
Unrealistically, Patrick Surtain.
Okay,
I mean, you're talking about because as much as I like Ward as our number one, he's not a shutdown corner. Honestly, he's really not. He's a very good corner, but he is not a shutdown corner. We need someone like I said, like Patrick Surtain, who can actually shut down someone else's number one wide receiver. But that again, that's unrealistic. I would love to see, like I said, Montez Sweat, Chase Young, one of those two guys. Like I said, I think Sweat is more of an option than Young. I think Young's going to command a little bit too much, but I would like to see those two. I don't think there's anybody like on an offensive line. I don't remember if it was someone in these comments for your show, or if it was someone from my show earlier who said maybe getting back like Daniel Brunskill. I'd love to have Daniel Brunskill back. Whether or not he's available right now, I don't know. So I would go for a defensive end first, just because I'm not happy with what we have right now. So far, it looks like Randy Gregory should be starting over Farrell and Jake Jackson right now, because neither of them has done much of anything. So that to me would be the best option, is going for a top end defensive end, maybe a Brian Burns.
Yeah. Good points, Corey. If you can, swing for the fences. I mean, f those picks, right? Whatever you want to say. We're going in to win this Super Bowl this year, right? I mean, Brian Burns, Derrick Henry, Patrick Surtain, Sweats. Montez Sweats. I mean, Jason Sehorn? I mean, like, who would you want to get, man?
Jason Sehorn, where did you pull that out of? The last great white quarterback.
He corner, right? But
Yeah.
there's another player. There's another player named Sehorn, and I heard them talking about him today. And I don't know what team he plays on, but he plays back east. But he's a corner too, so I thought that was interesting. But Corey, your thoughts? Who would you go for? We're getting that ring this year.
Like I said, I go for Patrick Surtain. I like what the radio people talking about.
What do you think we'll have to give up for him?
I don't know.
According to reports, when we went to after not Drake Jackson, but Gregory, we asked about Surtain, and they said they weren't interested.
He's a building block for their future. That's why.
Either he's too expensive and too valuable, like Jason's saying, building block, or we just were out. We're like, no, we're not giving you a couple of first round picks for the guy. But to me, like, what is a first round pick? Really? I mean, like, not every first round pick turns out, right?
Yep.
If you can turn around a first round pick for a Super Bowl trophy, are you going to be really mad? I mean, at this point, I know everybody's upset that we don't have Trey Lance anymore, but the draft capital that was spent to get Trey Lance, we offered first to the Jets, not the whole package, but we offered the Jets a first round pick for, Sam Area, right? We didn't get him, and they ended up trading him, right? So now we ended up getting him, and we don't have Trey Lance, but the same draft selection, the same draft. He's a first overall pick, right? Third overall pick in the first round. Both quarterbacks. So, I mean, it's just a different name on the jersey, but it's the same draft selection. So, we've seen how bad we've been in third round picks, and Moody, knock on wood, right? If he turns out to be bad, right? I mean, then that's just gonna be another third round pick blow up, right? But how many running backs have we had that are third round picks that we don't seem to hold on to? And it just wow. So yeah, if we could get Surtain, I think that would really stabilize the defense. Do you think corner is the weakest link on our defense, Corey?
Say it again.
Do you think cornerback, the CBs, the safeties, do you think they are the weakest link on our defense?
Right now, I don't know, because I'd say both. Defensive line and with the defensive line not getting no pressure on the quarterbacks. Quarterback have all day to sit back there. I say they can get a chair and sit in the backfield and sit down and wait for the receiver to get open. Seem like it. So we're not getting in the quarterback face. Quarterbacks have all day to throw the ball. And I was expecting more from our defensive line.
We have like $9 billion in our front four.
And our defensive line not getting there. We're not doing what we're supposed to be doing. And I don't know what it is. Why is this always a problem? Why? Like, it wasn't bad for Debo to hold out and not report to training camp?
Mm-hmm.
Was it? We talked about this all season, how our defensive line gonna be the number one. Everybody's gonna be scared of our defensive line. But where's the safest spot on the field during the night game when the defense on the field? Back there with the quarterback. Because we seem to can't get there.
So let me ask David, and I want everybody to really answer this too, but let me start with David. How we go about building our coaching staff, and we go on and we love our comp picks and we go after minority coaches. I don't know if that's we go after them, but it does seem to have a benefit of going after a minority coach and then them leaving us. We seem to get some draft capital in the future. Am I correct?
Mm-hmm.
So, do you think by us banking on having coaches for 1 year and looking for the draft selection the following year, and banking on that, do you think instead of having a solid coaching staff for several years to come, we're more concerned about having the comp picks? Because at this point, it does seem like we know how to win. We are, one of the top, teams in the league. So we do pick further back in the draft. So is this our like ace in the hole kind of thing? And do you think this is hurting our team? Because again, we're losing coaches every year. We're getting draft selections. Some of these guys are turning out and some of these guys aren't turning out. But what's your thoughts? Would you like to see coaches stick around a little longer, or are you happy with getting a couple of comp picks because we're letting guys go? Does that show how great our team is because we can develop coaches for the rest of the league? Or does that show how weak our team is because we can't keep anybody around?
So when it comes to a coordinator, I don't think a team in the NFL is going to say, no, you can't go be a head coach. You got to stay here and finish your contract. I don't think I've ever seen that happen. But letting so many go is definitely hurting us. D'Amico Ryans was, in my opinion, better than Robert Saleh at defensive coordinator. And he wanted to go be a head coach. So we can't hold him back and let him go be a head coach.
So let me pause you for a
We
second.
lost the boombox guy. Talk about big loss. We lost the boombox guy.
But he lost. Okay, so let me pause you real quick. If I offer you more money than you can make because coaches aren't regulated and that doesn't go against the salary cap, if I can offer you more money than what you can make as a head coach, is it all about money or is it about the title to you? And then about the boombox guy, before you answer that, the boombox guy left and went to the Texans, and then I guess he lost his job with the Texans, so he's no longer with the Texans. But we didn't bring him
He's
back.
a free agent.
Right? Get him back.
Bring them all back. So, but again, like, what's your thoughts? Like, is it more about the money or is it more about the title?
I think a lot of guys, it's more about the title, the opportunity, because if they prove themselves as a head coach for this first contract, how much money are they going to make over the next 20 years? And you're 100% right. Coaches' salaries do not count against the salary cap. It's all about ownership and the president just saying, yeah, we got deep pockets. What do you want to stick around?
Because if you keep the same together, right, and you can win a ring, you can win multiple rings, and maybe you can move up in the ranks and become the head coach of that franchise or get a better, opportunity. But for everybody to keep jumping ship, and I'm sorry to cut into you, but for everybody to keep jumping ship, it seems to me that the Niners are very cheap and don't want to offer more money. And it seems like we're more into getting those comp picks. And I don't see the value in it if we're not, like right here, Randy says our third round picks are straight garbage, except for Jake Moody. But our third round picks just don't work out, right? So, your thoughts?
Randy's actually right. Fred Warner right now, and I'm not including rookies in me saying this, but Fred Warner right now is by far our best third round draft pick. Look at all the other guys. Most of them aren't on the team anymore. We got TDP really burning the league being inactive. You got Ambry Thomas getting burned on the outside. Yeah, there's not much there. And then the tight end we picked, Cameron Latu, he's a rookie. Like I said, I'm kind of excluding rookies, but
Cameron
on
dropped
injured
too.
reserve before the season started. He's done for the year.
Yeah.
Do you think
It's like we seem to have a third round problem, and I hope that's not what I hope the third round curse is not affecting Jake Moody.
Oh, I hope not. But do you think Cameron Latu is because his nickname's Cameron Drop Two, or do you think he really has a bad problem with his hands? Or, I mean, like, why? I don't really see him being hurt. He could be hurt, but it definitely seems like they wanted to stash him so he could catch and learn how to catch a little bit better. Let's ask Jason. Jason, what's your thoughts, man? The whole situation, everything we just broke into. Is the comp picks really worth it, or would you like to see us fork out a little bit more money for these coaches?
I like going after these top end coaches. I don't think much is given into whether or not they're minorities and we have to get so many draft picks for them or anything like that. I really don't think we do anything like that.
Did anybody know that Chase is it McDaniels? Chase Daniels is a comp pick for us. I mean, I look at the guy and he's got a really nice tan, but he's black, and we got comp picks out of that. So to me, it seems like it's very strategical. And if it's not happening because it's planned, then we're getting really, really lucky. Really lucky that everybody we are hiring is got a little color in them, and that's not a problem to me. But what I would like to see is let's pay these guys to stick around a little bit more. I know we say we're a linebacker factory, and now we're a coaching factory. Like, how many coaches do we need to go before we can win one? And if we're making coaches for everybody else, where's that going to leave us in the next 5 or 6 years? We're going to have a bunch of good coaches that used to be our coaches that we're now having to play against every year.
You know what we did different this year in hiring? Last year we hired our defense coordinator was already here. What's his name? D'Amico, he was our linebacker coach. We brought him up from the linebacker coach to our defense coach. Wilkins, we hired from outside. And maybe when we should have replaced D'Amico with somebody that's already here. They already know the system. They already knows defense. That's why I think we made a mistake. Hiring from the outside.
Corey, you're so right. We should have hired from the inside. D'Amico was our linebackers coach, right? What was Robert Saleh before he became a defensive coordinator?
Linebackers coach in Seattle, right?
Yeah,
I believe so. All right.
How much do
maybe we should have promoted our linebacker coach?
Did Kasurik actually want to be promoted, or because I know he's just completely happy being the D-line coach. Maybe he just doesn't want it, even though he'd be the natural selection for that position.
He's content with just being the D-line coach. He don't want all the responsibility. So,
because they tried to take him to the Texans with him, D'Amico, and he said he didn't want to go. All right, guys. Everybody in the chat, we appreciate you for being here. We're not going away anywhere, but we're going to turn corners and we're going to take a little break on the 49ers, and let's get everybody's thoughts on this schedule. So everybody that's in the chat, Laura Cat, Damian Lee, Randy, thank you guys all for sticking around. We got 9 people still here watching. Man, I can't tell you how much I'm having a great time with y'all. So we got to watch a little bit of Tampa Bay and Buffalo. I don't know how much you guys got into that game, but I was having a lot of fun, and I had picked Buffalo to win, but I was rooting for Tampa Bay. They came back. They had a shot there at the end. So what's your guys' thoughts? Let's break down the schedule real quick. We'll go through it. Let's hear some funny thoughts from each team and stuff. So Tampa Bay, my thoughts, Baker was cooking. What do you think, Corey? Was he cooking against Buffalo?
You know, I have to say I didn't get to watch. I only watched the few minutes of the fourth, like when they scored. Right when they scored the 8 touchdowns for the 18 and 2 points, because me and No Border Sports was supposed to do the play by play, but I wasn't feeling good, so I was laying in bed, and I finally got a little enough nerve to turn on my TV and got to that channel and see the last minute of it. But I was like, man, he on that last play, Hail Mary. If that guy would just turn around more and looked up more, he had it inches. He could have caught that ball and won the game.
He was that close.
Yep.
Close. He just turned and his hand was like, if he would have turned, oh my God, he would have been he would have been the hero. Hero. David, you get to see any of the Buffalo Bills, the Wild Hot Wings, the Buffalo Hot Wings? They were cooking there with Baker Mayfield. What do you think?
I didn't get to see that game. I noticed Buffalo won. A win's a win. Buffalo has been having some bad teams stand up and punch them in the face, even though they won a couple games. You know, the Giants and the Buccaneers. They won these games, but they're still having teams that aren't good stand up and punch them in the face, just like us. We just had one team that's not good, which is the Vikings, stand up and punch us in the face. Honestly, think the Browns are better than most people are giving them credit for.
Yeah.
Well, the refs give them a lot of credit.
I saw the Indianapolis game, and I have to agree with that assessment. I'm going, hold up. Like, is this the Browns' year? Come on, man. Can't be doing that.
Jason, what's your thoughts, buddy? Tampa Bay, Buffalo. Are you a fan of like the Buffalo hot sauce? I don't like the flavor of Buffalo hot sauce. I like hot sauce. I like different barbecue sauces, but the Buffalo flavor is not me. And I know the reason I'm asking you is I know you like to cook, and Baker Mayfield, in my opinion, he was cooking there at the end. So what's your thoughts?
I think Buffalo hot sauce is disgusting, personally, because it's all vinegar.
Thank you.
I think Baker is one level above Sam Darnold when it comes to quarterback tiers. But I do like Buffalo. If there was ever another team I would cheer for, it would be Buffalo, just because Bills Mafia is absolutely insane. And I would love to see that fan base win the Super Bowl. I found that the game was actually pretty good. I fell asleep before halftime because I get up a ridiculous amount. But I like the Bills for the most part. I think they're way overdue for a quarterback, and we probably should have drafted Josh Allen when we had the chance.
Yeah, in hindsight, we probably should have. It took a little while for him to come on board, but I remember the game. I think it was the COVID year. We played them down in Arizona. I think it was our home game, and he just ran right over us the whole game. And I'm just like, wow, this guy really is.
He's damn
really
good.
Yeah, really good. So, all right, Corey. Let's go up to you. We're gonna run through the schedule real quick for everybody. We got a little bit more time before we go to David's show. And please, everybody in the chat, please, ask questions, pop on. We're gonna keep it short for right now. And when we move on to David's show, we'll have a little bit more of a panel there. You might see David Cronin and a couple other friends there as well. But for right now, this is who we got. So, LA Rams against Dallas. Corey, what's your thoughts? I know I don't want either team to win. So what's your thoughts?
Yeah, that's my thoughts. I don't want either team to win. But we got to have a winner And so I did pick the Cowboys to win, to beat the Rams. Because I said, I put it like this: which fan I want to hear from? I said, well, this will give me a good chance to say to Rudy, us 49ers beat the Cowboys. Y'all couldn't beat the Cowboys.
Back.
But
So yeah,
Hey,
if you
we
guys
beat the
don't know
Steelers too.
yeah.
shout out to Rudy. How about those terrible towels? And that's another good game, David. Thank you for bringing that up. Corey, were you able to see the ending of the Rams game and the Steelers game? That was a shout out to the refs. You guys are batting 1,000 this year, and it's football. So for you guys to be batting, you guys are really doing good.
No, I didn't get to see the end of the Rams game.
Oh my gosh. Go on YouTube if you can and just type in, the Rams versus the Steelers versus the Rams. It'll show you like the and just fast forward to the end of the game. They blew some calls at the end of the game, and hey, the Steelers won, and I'm okay with that. I'm definitely okay with that. Hey, let's take a pause again real quick, guys. Chat is popping. We got the Shaw Show in here, and we have David Corona. Please go check out the Shaw Show. He's got a great channel. Really appreciate it. His name's Anshul, but if you want to find his show, just type in The Shaw Show, and it's a great show. David Corona will probably be on with us a little bit later, guys, and he's David Corona. I mean, I can't wait to talk to you a little bit later, too. I mean, it's really, truly the Battle of L.A., right? If you guys don't know about the Cowboys, I believe they still practice in California. I believe their training camp's still in California. So for a long time, they were like L.A.'s team. LA has college teams, and then they had the Cowboys because for the longest time, the Raiders and the Rams, there wasn't a professional NFL team in LA since '95, and then all of a sudden they get everybody, right? They get everybody, but they all have to share the same stadium. It's a little weird, huh? It's like kind of moving
Sharon
in
is
with your
Karen.
So, really quickly, all right. So, David, what's your thoughts? LA and Dallas. Are you rooting for a tie?
How is there some sort of possibility or equation where they can both lose this game? Oh, there's not, huh?
Nah.
So okay, I'm rooting for a tie ultimately, but just because it helps us both ways. But at the same time, I definitely want the Rams to lose.
Oh yeah.
I would like to see them actually beat the Cat. You see, I don't know if this game actually matters. Because each team losing helps us, right? So that's why I'm definitely rooting for a tie here. Definitely.
I think a tie would be great for us here. I think the Cowboys winning would be a little bit more of a threat for us. But then you got to look at the division. But I think the Seahawks are going to help balance out the division with the Rams. Good point. Jason, what's your thoughts? Are you going to be rooted for the Lamb Chops, or are you rooted for them boys?
I'm going to say them boys only because we got to win our division first. And that pains me on so many levels to say that.
Yeah, it does for me too. I don't ever want to root for them, but I took them for my pick'ems.
My soul hurts saying that.
I'm like, we need a sage or cleansing or something, right?
Please.
So Corey Davis, I've been, probably in your ear the most about this. I've been screaming, "It's the season of love," or maybe whispering softly, soft whispers, right? It's the season of love, but he's not showing up. I don't know if he didn't pay the Cupid, if he owes the Easter Bunny money or the Tooth Fairy, but the season of love has not happened. So we're not seeing what I was, I was preaching. So we got Minnesota. You like that? You like that? Coming into Green Bay, and I'm telling you, I'm rooting for Green Bay here, man. I don't think Kurt's going to be eating any cheese. What's your thoughts?
I picked Green Bay to win, and I'm hoping. I don't know. I don't like Green Bay, and I don't like Minnesota.
Are you rooting for a tie?
Well, I said I want Green Bay to win. I think Green Bay gonna win. I think Green Bay gonna say we lost last week, and they gonna pop back up and say, "In Minnesota's going, they feeling too good because they beat the 49ers." And I think they gonna have a down game of this Sunday against Green Bay, so they gonna lose.
All right, real quickly, my buddy, another Green Bay L in my books. No, we need you guys to go in and take care of business. You have to take out the purple people eaters. There's no question. We need you to do a solid for us, okay? In a year from now, or maybe one time, you'll come to us and you'll say, it'll be like the Godfather scene. I need a favor. And we will have to, we will have to give you that favor. But for right now, we need you, and we might call upon you again this season. We need you to beat the Lions too, okay? But for right now, it's the Purple People Eaters. I'm looking for you. We'll talk. We will talk soon, all right? We will work agreement out, all right? Jason, we got David right now. He's on mute for a minute, or he'll be popping back in. But what's your thoughts? We got Minnesota and Green Bay. I know you like that.
I like that. I think my wife would kill me if I don't choose the Vikings. Or let me speak. My wife would kill me if I choose the Vikings. Like you had said, I think we definitely need the Vikings to win, or excuse me, Green Bay to win. So let's go Green Bay Cheeseheads. My wife's a cheesehead, and if I want everything happy in my house, I should probably just want Green Bay to win.
So, do you guys actually have a cheesehead?
Yes, we do.
Oddly enough, and really funny enough, my dad, he's a Raider fan, right? And all of his brothers are cheeseheads. So we ended up winding up somehow with a Brett Favre jersey. We would, my dad would make sure he pulled it out of his every game day, Monday Night Football, when we seen Brett on television. My dad would pull out the jersey and he'd throw it in front of the TV. It would be like an epic pass at the beginning of the show, right? And it would land right there elegantly, right in front of the TV. And then just as soon as Brett Favre started doing something, my dad would walk over and step on it, right? Because that's my dad. My dad's just being funny, but that's his brother's teams, right? So he'd stomp on the jersey real hard, right? And then Brett Favre would end up winning the game, and my dad would pick up the jersey and fold it back up and put it back in his dresser. But that's his love for his brothers. And, so we oddly enough ended up with a cheesehead hat. I think it was from the same uncle. And, hey, your brothers can always, all my brothers are Raider fans. So, if they're dishing it out to me, I'll dish it back, every once in a while. But, yep. All right,
my favorite is the last time we met the Packers in the playoffs. When we won, she literally got up, and mind you, there's like 15 people in our house. She got up, didn't say a word to anybody, walked to the bedroom, grabbed a pillow and a blanket, and you could just see them flying out the bedroom door. She slams the door, and I'm like, well, I guess I'm sleeping on the couch tonight.
I'm very lucky. Okay, not everybody can be as lucky as me. Hey, and I'm gonna knock on the wood again, wherever I got wood or whatever, right? But I was able to find someone who bleeds red and gold. I got a really, I'm blessed, right? So I don't have to worry about that too much. But let's go to David real quick before we move off of it. We got the Minnesota Vikings going into Lambeau Field. Do you like that, David?
I don't like either team, but I think Minnesota's gonna like what happens. I honestly think them beating us is boosted their confidence. I do not think the Green Bay Packers are going to be doing well this season. We thought it could be the season to love, and it's not. Nope. It's the season of separation because, Aaron Rodgers left them. So what can I say?
All right, let's jump over to the next game. We got Atlanta coming into Tennessee, and if I heard right, they're selling in Tennessee. I know they're Volunteers, but it sounds like everybody's leaving. Corey, what's your thoughts? Is Atlanta coming in with the W, or are you taking Tennessee? Is King Henry? Is he going to show that fan base that he's the king still, and he's not going anywhere?
Well, I picked Atlanta to win, to beat Tennessee because I don't trust Tennessee quarterback.
Facts.
So I said I picked Atlanta.
All right. I can see your thoughts. I'm thinking it's a home game, so I'm kind of go with the home crowd. But David, your thoughts? We got Tennessee and Atlanta. Those dirty birds are coming in. Are the Volunteers going to be taking shots, or what's your thoughts? They do wear orange when they're on the side of the freeway, so I don't know if that has anything to do with hunting and everything. But
Well, I'm thinking the Tennessee Titans are sellers for a reason. They know that they're going downhill. They're not going to be a playoff contending team. So they're going to be, selling off people after this game. And this game is more like a tryout for their new team. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Titans win, but I picked the Falcons.
all right, going dirty birds. I see it.
Going Dirty Birds. They're grinders.
You think?
They're grinding these games out. All their wins, they're grinding away. And they could possibly take their division at this point. I believe I originally picked the Saints to take that division, but their multiple personalities is not going to work out. Got to know who you are.
That's right. You got to know who you are, know when to show them, know when to hold them. Jason, your thoughts? We got the Dirty Birds and we got the Tennessee Titans.
I'm going to take the Falcons simply because I need Bijan Robinson to play well for my fantasy football league.
In your opinion, is he the best? Is he the best college rookie running back coming to the league now, like for this season? Oh, I agree.
I don't think it's even a question of that.
I got 2 fantasies and two drafts this year, and I got him in one league, and yeah, he's starting. He's starting until there's a bye week, right? Okay, so let's move to I asked you about Tennessee and Atlanta. You said you're taking Tennessee, I believe, or you said you were taking Atlanta. I'm sorry. Let's move to New Orleans and Indy. And there's a lot of things going on with New Orleans. Derek Carr's upset. He seems to know the plays better than his team who's been there for years before him, but they don't seem to know the offense. Maybe he's not getting the right plays called, or I don't know, the right cadence out. But Indy's struggling too. They got Gardner Minshew. They have some issues. Their rookie quarterback's gone, so it is stand-up time. It's a party in the front. We got business in the front, party in the back. We got Mr. Mullet, cut off jeans, Gardner Minshew, and don't think I'm putting any, like slant at him or anything. I think if we would have pulled him and brought him into San Francisco as our backup, I think that would have been a really smart decision if we would have done it this year or even 2 years prior. So, Corey, your thoughts on the Saints, Houday, and Indy? No, it's Houdat, because Houday is Cincinnati.
And the Bengals.
I apologize. So Houdat is going to go play Indy, the Colts. Your thoughts?
I picked the Colts to win this one. I like the way they played against Cleveland Browns. They score up 38-some points. So I said New Orleans has been struggling. Carr's been struggling. So I picked Colts to beat.
What's your thoughts on the black helmets?
Really haven't seen them. They look okay.
I like the white ones. I'm a traditional guy, I guess. David, what's your thoughts? Black helmets and, same thing. New Orleans, is car driving in. It's not that far from New Orleans. You march, walk, whatever you think. But Indy is a very fast team. We know the Indianapolis 500's there, but they just seem to have like a flat tire here or there. So, what's your thoughts? I know the referees last week, they kind of spoiled their parade a little bit. But your thoughts again? The black helmets. Do they need to go back to white? Is that's not what's right? Or I'm going to give it to you.
I like the black helmets with the blue logo. I think it
Yeah.
looks pretty good. But they need a little more of a white line around the horseshoe. Well, yeah, around the horseshoe. Just a little touch is what they need. But at this point, Jonathan Taylor, Zach Moss, those are the Indianapolis Colts running backs. Zach Moss is actually outperforming Jonathan Taylor, but how long is they have a two-headed monster, and it's a beast. It's a fire-breathing beast. Gardner Minshew, he just has to pass when they need to, so business in the front, party in the back, it's really going to work out. I see the Colts winning this game at home.
I love it. The horseshoe is pointed up because it's lucky. So because we're never running out of time, folks, but I'm going to start mixing it up a little bit, and we're going to go maybe individual opinions, and we'll move on. So, Jason, I know you really want to talk about New Orleans and Indy, but I'm going to ask you about New England and Miami. This is a big game. Tuna's coming up, and they lost last week, and we got New England.
Did you say Tuna's coming up?
Tuna's coming up. If you don't know about dolphins, 95% of tuna is dolphin. Okay, and
no.
I love chicken and beef, okay?
It's the other way around.
But so we have New England, and they just won, and we have the Dolphins who just lost. So your thoughts, Jason? Is Big Bill, is he scared right now? Is he going to be able to turn this around, or is the Dolphins going to be that smash mouth team that's just going to I think they already played this season. I think they already beat the Patriots once this season, if I'm correct.
I think the Dolphins are going to smash them. They're just way too fast on offense, and there's really nothing else about that team that scares me as far as New England's concerned.
All right, Jason. We can see you are from your yacht. We do recognize that.
I am.
That's why. We love
cabin
Randy.
boy.
No, I am the captain. God damn it!
No, but you'd be calling for the cabin boy.
So Ryan, I'm so glad you're here. This is probably the best game of the week. I really want your true, honest opinion and thoughts. We got New York playing New York. The Jets are going to the Giants. What's your thoughts?
I haven't heard. Is Danny Dimes playing?
Does it matter?
I think it does. The reason being is I don't know. I think with Danny Dimes in there, I think he's got more chance scoring points than Zach Wilson does. You see what I'm saying? But with no Danny Dimes, this could be a tie. This could be a tie. This could be like a 0-0 tie. This could be a 3-3 tie. This could be a tie. Just saying, if Danny Dimes isn't playing, and look, the Jets could win this. The Jets got talent on their team. I'm not saying that they don't. Hey, who knows? Maybe they finally, Zach Wilson finally dusts himself off and decides he's gonna, actually be a team player, and not try to just be all about himself and not take credit for anything. But yeah, that's.
So I agree. I'd like to see something out of this game, but I could see it being a tie. Danny Dimes, as far as I understand, is not playing just yet, and I kind of think Tyrod Taylor is a better quarterback at this point. I don't know if we shook him. I still see his googly eyes in our game. If you didn't see the Twitter feed, you know, when he's seen us on the defense, he like checked the field so many times and his eyes just went left and right. And I'm somebody who
That
has
was a
a lazy eye.
hilarious thing.
I am somebody with a lazy eye. So when I seen that, I did chuckle. And it's not fun to laugh at yourself, but when I seen that, I was like, oh my God. So Corey, we have Jacksonville playing Pittsburgh. And you know how I feel about the Jaguars. Roar, right? And Pittsburgh's going to have those terrible towels. I think that's the only thing they can say in this game because Jaguars are coming in with the quarterback probably with the best hair and probably the best arm in the league right now. Pittsburgh doesn't seem to have a quarterback, but they have a defense. So what's your thoughts?
I picked the Jacksonville Jaguars to win this game.
He's all in on the hair because Corey doesn't have any.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I just think Jacksonville gonna play a little better than Pittsburgh. I don't know if what's his name, Kenny Pickett, is gonna play a little better than Trevor Lawrence.
Kenny Pickett's going to be making fences here pretty soon. Just saying, he's going to be out there putting up fences.
Yeah, he's got to step it up a little bit. All right, so Mr. McNiner, if you're there, and if you're not, I'll come back to you. We got Philadelphia and Washington. Let's I'll circle. There you are.
He's
your
here.
thoughts. We got Philadelphia with the tush push coming in. Jalen Hurd does seem to be banged up a little bit, but it doesn't matter if he throws one interception. He still has those 600-pound legs that he can just squat and push the line up front. As long as they're getting close to third down, 3rd and 8, as long as they're getting close to first or 4th and 2, they're not afraid. Washington's coming in, and they got some clean uniforms. I definitely think they are looking crisp. It is a home game for Washington, and their quarterback – Sam Howell, I mean, I don't know if you want to howl, but he looks pretty impressive to me. Your thoughts?
No, I picked the Eagles to win this game, and I'm going to take the loss with a smile if it happens.
Yep.
But you're not lying. If Philadelphia gets within 2 yards, they're doing the tush push. Their fullback's going to run up. He's going to caress Jalen Hurts in a way I won't caress a man. And he's going to push as hard as he can. Mm-hmm.
Shout out to
at this point,
Tush.
I watched that play work so many times in this last game. I was going, you got to be kidding me. Like, you really got to be kidding me. And then I saw the Vikings try it on us, and Fred Warner said, "Nope." So
did you see Fred talk
NFL
about
watches
that?
tape, huh?
Fred was talking about that on his podcast with his wife, and he said that he noticed in tape that when Kirk Cousins does the QB sneak, that he's a little raised up off the ball. So Fred knew that he was just going to jump over the top when he got the chance and just grab him, because all you got to do is essentially stop the forward momentum in that initial burst, because it's so hard to get any more of a burst and get over the line when you got someone hanging on you, and then the second rush from the defense comes in. So
shout out to Fred. He jumped over 2 lines and landed on that quarterback. Real quick, shout out to Laura Cat. Manscaping is important, in my opinion, as well. Hopefully one day future sponsor of the channel if I ever get that big, but thank you. We'll go down here.
I pretty got question trying to tush push. Right.
We're going to move to Jason real quick. Jason, your thoughts on probably the second best game of the week, Houston versus Carolina.
I'm gonna go with Houston simply because I like what DeMarco has got going on over there.
Miko.
I agree.
D'Amico.
I agree.
There you go.
DeMarco.
All right, so Ryan, we're gonna go with you next with probably one of the favorite games to watch. It might not be the best game, but it's definitely going to be one that you're going to want to listen to or hear about. Catch the score. Cleveland, those dogs, that dog pound is going up to Seattle. I think you guys know where that's at. And they're going to be taking on the 12th man.
Never heard of her.
Are the dogs going to be running loose? Are the birds going to be flying? What's your thoughts?
I don't know. I believe I picked Cleveland, but now yes I did because to spite Joe because he picked Minnesota. So I do think Cleveland is a better team as far as everywhere except for the quarterback position, because I believe Deshaun Watson is out still, so he won't be playing in this game. I think Cleveland kind of beats him, well, except for quarterback and wide receiver. Okay, quarterback and wide receiver. Cleveland beats them on everything. So I think they've got more going for them. Also, Cleveland's got a great secondary, and one of the shining things about the Seahawks is their wide receivers. So you put those two together, and you could have, any sort of outcome. So I don't know. I would think defense would kind of win in this situation, but any given Sunday, you know how that shit goes. So this could be a coin flip. This could be a coin flip type of a game. I don't think any one of these teams feels that they are outmatched by the other team. So I don't think either one of them thinks they should lose this game. So it's going to probably be a good, hard hitting football game. Yeah, the Seahawks probably won't be able to run the ball on them. Now that I say that, the Seahawks will probably spring like 120 on them or something. I don't know, but the Seahawks aren't known for running. Their best running back gets like 60 yards a game, so it's not a.
It's going to be a Jake Bobo. Yeah,
mostly their offensive line is built to pass block. They're not, for some reason, they can't figure out how to run block, which is like one of the easiest things to do. It's like the first thing you're taught in the.
No, the good points, really good points, because it's like it seems like Cleveland is a very aggressive defensive team, but they have been getting some help with the refs. Seattle, we all like to think that they're juicing or they get help with the refs too, but they have been like the Browns. They are a really good team that seems to be scrappers, dog fighters, if you want to say. And this is going to be a game that's going to come down to the wire. If I'm correct, the last couple of games, maybe 2 games ago or something, they had 8 sacks. So the Seahawks aren't scrubs on
defense. It was 11 because because some other play, they did like some kind of like a direct snap and he bootlegged out. So he was considered a quarterback at that point and he got sacked. So, but they got like 9 of them on. Yeah,
that's crazy, right? We can't even touch Kirk Cousins. Do you like that? I mean, I don't like that. Okay, Corey, we're gonna move up to you real quick with Kansas City and Denver. And if I'm correct, if Denver loses this game, it's gonna make 17 in a row. How do you feel like, are you going to be okay with Kansas City going into Mile High? I think Kansas City is going to be able to weather the storm and take care of their elevations. And, I know they got the oxygen on the side, but I think the Taylor Swift effect really comes into this game. What's your thoughts?
I pick Kansas City to beat Denver. I never picked the Broncos because I can't trust Russell Wilson with the let's ride. I gotta go with the team that can have Taylor Swift on their side. Fans have to pay extra money to get in their stadium because of Taylor Swift.
All right, David. I know
Taylor Swift taxed. The Taylor Swift tax. Oh shit,
David. I know you're gonna be.
She better be singing her ass off at halftime.
Right, shake it off, right? If you don't know, you should go. Good song. All right, David, you're almost out of here, but we'll be following you shortly. So if you guys don't know, David's going to be going live here in a little while. We're continuing the party over there. But if David has to dip out, we still have a couple things to talk about. The party don't stop till 3 a.m. No, we're gonna go from there. But David, we got Baltimore and Arizona. How do you feel about the Purple Chickens taking on the Red Chickens?
The Purple Chickens will prevail, but the Red Chickens stood up and they punched the Cowboys in the face. So can they do the same thing to the Purple Chickens?
Not.
Yeah, I know. All right, guys. I'll catch you on the flip side. Go Niners and F the Lambs.
You guys don't know, that's David McMiner, great guy. Please go check him out. Subscribe to his channel. There will be a link in the description here. There's always a link in the description for generally all my shows when David's around. We will be following him over there shortly, but if you like your dad jokes, stick around for a couple more. Jason, if you're there, if not, I'll come back. I got 2 more games, but let me throw it over here to Mr. Ryan. I think he's going to enjoy this one. We got Cincinnati. They're coming from the jungle. They call themselves Who Day. Who Day, right? They're playing the 49ers, San Francisco 49ers in Levi Stadium in Santa Clara, California. It's going to be a great game. What's your thoughts? I know there might be, some feelings. We might have some different numbers out there on the field. I'm just saying, we don't know who might show up. But again, your thoughts. The Niners have lost 2 in a row. It could be 3 in a row. The Bengals don't seem to be much better.
Well,
let me hear it.
The Bengals are starting to gain their footing, right? That's what I'm seeing from them. They were very uneasy walking around. Like they were really bad. And now they're starting to regain their footing. It's not necessarily, they're not striding, but they're getting there. And we seem to be on like a decrease, I would say. You know what I mean? We dropped a couple of games we could have totally won. There's like no excuses. Like we could have totally won that. There's no reason why just Trent Williams and Debo were the reasons we lost that last game. There's plays everybody could have made on both sides of the ball, except for like Mitch Wisnowski. That's the only guy I really can't fault. Really, that I think everybody else could have done a better job in the last 2 games. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
That's a good point. And we're talking to you, Tabor Pepper. You better start stepping up. You snap straight. You step up. I don't want to see
somebody was questioning laces on that first miss in the Minnesota game.
The Browns game. Browns game. Laces out, bro. And supposedly, when you're the long snapper,
is that confirmed? Is that confirmed?
Oh boy! Ooh, don't get me started. But supposedly,
is that confirmed? Are you confirming that?
That's what I understand. That's what I understand.
It's not confirmed. That is not confirmed. That is not confirmed.
You know what? I'm going on all 22 tonight, and I'm going to screenshot it, and I'm sending it to you. And I don't care. I don't care. I want to solve the mystery. All right. No more Scooby-Doo stuff here. No Scooby snacks. We are going to get out. But supposedly, when you long snap the ball, you grip the ball in a certain way. The spiral coming back to the holder, who's typically the punter. Sometimes it's the quarterback. Shout out to Tony Romo. When you grab the ball, it's supposed to land right in your hand and drop. Now, when I was a holder, because I've been a kicker and a holder, it's kind of, you need to know how to do both. It's very easy. You catch the ball and then you just spin it real quick and you put your finger right there and you tell the kicker, you better not kick my finger. That's all you say, right? Every time, you better not kick my finger. And he knows. And then you get this, I know, you know where your finger's at, and I'm not kicking your finger, right? Because if not, right? You kick a man's hand when he's holding the ball for you. Pause. All right? That's not right. So we're going to go over here to Jason real quick. We have Chicago and the LA Chargers. And before we get into the game, what's your thoughts on the Charger lady? Supposedly she was a fan of the Vikings 20 years ago. Supposedly she was just wearing the jersey because she was at her son's game. Supposedly she's been a fan of the Chargers the LA Chargers, who were formerly in San Diego 20 years ago. So is this just like circumstances of her being in the right area, geographically, becoming a fan, being a fan of one area and moving somewhere else, or is she a paid actress? Because I seen her next week in Kansas City after I seen her on the Pat McAfee show, and then it was all exposed. So shout out to Boston Connor. He defends people when they're truthful and they're just, and like he really put his heart out there. And if you didn't see the clip, then you should go check out the clip. But he'll never help
saw the
anybody
clip.
ever again. Never.
Never
And never.
Never.
So are you a Viking, or are you a Charger, or are you a actor? Jason, your thoughts?
Wait, maybe hold on. Maybe she's a Swiftie too.
She could be a Swiftie.
Maybe she was a Vikings fan growing up in, you know what I'm saying? And then she moved to San Diego, where she became a fan of the Chargers 20 years ago. Started to become a fan of 20. And then she, was like, hey, I want to go see another game, right? But Taylor Swift too. I want to, bump into Taylor. Maybe I'll be in front of the popcorn machine that gets drug around when she wants to go places, which I'm not hating on. Just as long as she got a chair and like a tablet in there and soundproof, so she can be watching, funny YouTube videos and shit and giggling as she's going around. Just saying.
Real quick,
Mini
this
bar.
is the link. This is the link for David's show. So please go, subscribe, click on that. It'll take you right to the channel. But Jason, what's your thoughts? Again, we got the Chicago, Los Angeles Chargers, but we have that real topic right there. Is that lady really a fan, or is she an actor? Or can she be like a fan of the entire NFL? Do we see her next week wearing a 49er jersey or at the Super Bowl? Your thoughts?
Since me and Ryan both live in Fairweather Fan Central, I truly don't give a damn. I think it's kind of funny more than anything else, but I don't give a damn who she's cheering for this week. I think it's obvious she's a planted fan for whoever, but I mean, I don't care otherwise. As far as whoever wins, anybody against the Bears I'll take, just because the Bears are that bad right now.
Oh, Jesus.
Do you like their backup quarterback, though? I know Justin Fields is injured, but their other quarterback that just came in, Ty Bagnet, or something. I'm sorry, I'm butchering your name. But he came in, and I know it's just the Raiders, but he put up like 30-something points against the Raiders. So
show me something this week, and I might entertain the fact of thinking about you.
I love it.
Facts. Once you start putting it on tape consecutive weeks, you know what I mean? Like, what were we? We were kind of cautious when Purdy was doing good his first couple weeks. We're like, okay, well, we'll see where this goes. Okay, because we'll see where this goes. And look at where we're at. We're like, Purdy, please come back. Sam Darnold, no.
I mean, it's the same. Like I said, it's no different than what we were doing last year. So it's like, give me another week or two of what you're doing, and then we'll have this conversation. Other than that, I don't care.
All right. Sounds very fair to me. So Ryan got to talk about Cincy and San Francisco. Corey, I'm going to give you the best game of the week, hands down, coming to you, Las Vegas Raiders playing against the Detroit Lions. We got Jimmy G, if he's healthy, going up against Jared Goff. Some people call him goofy, but he's got the Detroit Lions playing really aggressive. They're winning, except when they come up against the Purple Chickens. They lost really horrible last week. So is this a good bounce back game for the Lions, or is this a good bounce back game for the Raiders? It seems like they both lost by 30 points.
It's a good bounce back for the Detroit. I picked Detroit to beat the Raiders. I don't know even if Jimmy's back. I don't think the Raiders gonna beat Detroit.
I kind of agree. I like Jimmy. I think he could be manageable, but I don't think the team is around him. I think it's going to take more than. I think they could change head coaches and still have Jimmy as their quarterback. but they're going to have to change the whole scheme. They really have to tear down and rebuild. When you get rid of your tight end, and there's just so many things that happened before Jimmy got there. I think you could take him and put him on a different team, and he might do well. He could go maybe play in Tennessee or something. But I think it really boggles my mind. It really does. Tom Brady's trying to buy a portion of the Raiders, which I understand is a business decision, and it could really turn around and make him a lot of money one day. But the Raiders is how Tom Brady got his start, right? Like the tuck rule and everything. And then Jimmy comes in to replace him, and he leaves. And then the next thing you know, you got what do you got? You got Jimmy. Now what? Tom Brady's gonna be Jimmy's owner? So to me, it just is funny. But hey, everybody, thank you guys all for coming. Shout out to the Sentinel Football Channel. Please, if you guys don't know about him, check his channel out. It's spelled just like that. He does a lot of great things. He posts in the community chat, the tab a lot. But guys, I appreciate you all for being here. We've had a lot of fun. But we're gonna go probably head over to David McNider's channel. I posted the link right here in the description. Trying to find it again so I can put it up there. And yeah, we're gonna have a lot of fun, guys. So here's the link. If you guys can head over to David's channel, tell him you're doing a BC raid. That'd be great. Might make him laugh a little bit. Make sure you hit the like button here, subscribe, tune in tomorrow morning. We'll be going live again. I got Corey Davis over here. He does some things on the weekends as well. Tune into his channel, turn on the notifications. Jason down below is Niner Faithful Radio Podcast. So please check them out. Subscribe. They got a great channel. They do things on Tuesdays. They do things on Friday nights before our shows. They also do things on the weekends when we have games. They do a pregame, they do a halftime, and they do an after game. So please check out TJ, Jason, and Jamie. Great show. We had David McNiner. Again, we're going to be heading over to his show. Ryan No Border Sports. A lot of great people here. So please keep checking in. We got a great panel every Friday night. We go live. We have fun. But we're going to be heading over to David's channel for the after-hour party. So hope to see you guys there. Stay faithful. And if you guys want, come back tomorrow morning around 8 o'clock, and we're going to break down the Cincinnati Bengals and the 49ers. And we're going to get a little bit more into it. Thank you guys all for coming. You guys have a great night.
Deuces.
Deuces. Peace.